Blackheart's Bay, map number 1, the final best of 5 in Group A. Unleashed against Welcome to Nando's. Yeah, we kind of renamed them a little bit. It was just too good. If you put that WTN in front of the orange, then I just gotta go for the Nando meme. Especially since, as some of you might have already realized, technically this game doesn't really matter. Because we already have the 2 teams that advanced out of Group A, but obviously it's just too much fun. We had too many awesome games and too many cool hero picks, so we are continuing with this battle, and we're going to figure out if Unleashed is going to take down the Nando boys, or if the red team is going to get a victory under their belt. So, we have map number 1, again Meta Madness, obviously, we are in the group stage. We have some rules to make sure that the games are super entertaining, that we see more heroes than we usually do. The 2 rules are, we have 10 heroes that are banned for the entire group stage. Again, quite important to note that the hero bans for the playoffs will be a little bit different. There will be a lot more heroes that are banned for the playoffs. The group stage is, so to say, the warm-up for the main event. But those 10 heroes cannot be played in the entire group stage. That is not only true for Group A, that is also true for Group B, C, and D. So we have 4 groups in total with 4 teams each. In addition to that, every single hero that gets played cannot be played again in the same match. So the 10 heroes that get played on map number 1 cannot be played again in this entire series. Therefore, it makes things really interesting as we're progressing through a series. First map is always determined by the tournament organizers. That would be me. And Cross, who's my admin. So we are always opting for Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, or for Hanamura, just to make things a little bit more interesting on the first map. But the maps are technically not in the map pool, so they can't be played by the players themselves, or picked by the players themselves. Samuro gets banned, so does Maiev. We got Zeratul also eliminated quickly. But I'm pretty curious because let's not forget the Nandos, they came in late. They came in because one of the teams just didn't show up or showed up a little bit late. So they just jumped in and said like, hey, we can play. And more than happy to welcome them here. And they haven't won a series yet, but I gotta say that they held their own. They did a lot better in the matches against the top teams in the group than I expected them to, but they are still waiting for their first map victory. And the same is also true for Unleashed, who had a pretty rough time themselves. Now we'll find out which one of the 2 teams is getting a best of 5 victory here. So we have next on Lucio as they are locking in the Overwatch hero right at the beginning. And yeah. What are we getting for the red team? I mean, it's map number 1. There's plenty of options here. There's only 10 heroes banned, so it's not really a problem. And Nuburak, ooh, and Abathar, right in game number 1. Alright, color me intrigued. Blackheart's Bay, and the first thing that they are rocking is an Abathar. Interesting. Tell me more. And we get the Vikings. I already like this. Vikings, Sylvanas. Again, when you're playing Vikings, you want to have a very strong 4-man that can push aggressively. So I can only assume that they're going to plan pushing through the bot lane while the Vikings are holding the experience gain in the mid and top lane, since they're pretty close together. I mean, back in the day, honestly, Blackheart's Bay was the map where you would see Asmodan for the first time with Joanna. That whole thing of Joanna helping Asmodan to stack and then getting just insane stacks and massive damage out with the Globe of Annihilation was put into play on Blackheart's Bay. Because the lanes are so close together, that was super easy for a stacked Asmodan to control both lanes with his wave clear. Cho gets banned, so not running any... I mean, they're not risking anything here. They know that this split is already happening, and if the Viking numbers are making up for you losing a body on the map with Cho'Gall in the game, they want to prevent that from happening, so well done. But yeah, same time now, we get the final ban for this first map, and it's Greymane. With Abathar, you don't want to take any chances. But we could still see... I would love an Illidan with Abathar. Illidan Abathar would be amazing. Greymane Abby, of course, for the copy and also for the symbiote is it's just glorious. But Illidan Abathar was like the old school comp, and oh boy, those were the days. Those were pretty fun. So yeah, let's see what we're getting here. This match, this series is going to bring the second day of Meta Madness, of the group stage, to its conclusion. And I gotta say, we had some insane games. Even the games that ended with a 3-0 were just glorious. Just so many good games, so many good matches and team compositions. Now we get Jaina and we get Karazim. Okay, so you have Karazim Abathar, you have the Jaina copy. This is already getting dangerous. Very nasty. And Arabano and Areku are the last two to pick for the blue team. What are we going to get from them? Yeah, ETC and Cassia. Not quite what I expected here, but let's go for it. Final pick for game number 1 in the best of 5. Blackheart's Bay again is the map. Let's see what we're getting here. Babu, Desai, they should go for another... They could go for another frontliner here for sure. Get a bruiser into play that can also do a little bit of damage, but Abathar can help out. Jaina, the main damage, but even with Karazim, you can do a lot when you have an Abathar to sustain you there. So it is Artanis! We get Artanis in the game. He's also pretty dangerous if he has a symbiote on his head. Very difficult to kill. So with that said and done, let's head into game number 1 of the best of 5 series. Blackheart's Bay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nando's against Unleashed. Get ready for battle, landlubbers! Unleashed on the left in blue with next on Lucio. Icecorp on Sylvanas, Arabano on ETC, Areku and Cassia. And Risk is playing the Lost Vikings. Over on the right side of the map, we have welcome to Nando's. And apparently we have to adjust that overlay a little bit, don't we? But, well, fair enough. They are currently playing this one out with, as you can see... wait. Fixed, more or less. Okay, so we have the one currently over on the right side of the map. They're playing this out with Lion Letter and Anubarak, Mixin on Karazim, Master Thief is rocking Jaina, Pachanox and Abathar, and Babu Desai is playing Artanis. And Artanis is already sitting up at the top. Flipping this around a bit, whereas the rest of the team has decided that they're going down for the bottom of the map. Spawn a couple of beetles and start to burn that minion wave, and that is actually glorious. Minion wave and tower damage. The problem is, of course, that both teams are currently pushing, and we have a Sylvanas in the hands of Unleashed, so it seems like we're up for a race, everyone. Yeah, we are racing this one quickly. This is going to be real interesting. They're pushing in the middle, they're pushing at the bottom, the wall has fallen, the Viking is gone, nicely done. Mixing gets the kill, but they're also a bit low, so he has to heal them up. At the top side, though, that fort is going to be lost. So I think it's safe to say that both teams are going to take a fort down. Babu Desai is trying to slow them down a little bit, I assume, and he gets the assistance from Abathar as well, so makes it a bit easier. He's going straight for Lucio here, but it's of course inevitable that we are having forts fall, which means that the entire game is currently just being sped up. If you just go for early trades... ETC died? What? Alright, so they just lost ETC at the top here. At least they're killing in return also Artanis. The interesting part is that they are now trying to go for the Siege Giants. Chests have been spawned too. It's a wild game already. If you're taking structures away this early in the game, you're just accelerating the game. You're just making sure that the game is just so much faster. Both teams are attempting to steal some camps away from the opponent, and that's what we're seeing at the top. Down at the bottom of the map, as we are now having some of the coins taken, the doubloons. We also have the Siege Giants pushing. If they send just one hero in to deal with... well, I guess the Siege Giants deal with Eric. Okay, that's one way how to deal with that situation. Artanis is doing what he does best, dying. And the team takes not only the kill, but also the camp, and can now push for the keep again. I mean, they're just trying to accelerate not only the push for the fort, but also the entire game. There's a bit of a turn happening right now as Mixin delivers the 5 doubloon that he has. Down to the bottom of the map, we have Balog dealing with the push of the Siege Giants, but up at the top, the party continues as the team with the 1-level lead is attempting to take the wall down. Lucio is able to get away. Mixin was diving in a bit deeper, and ETC is now also slowly retreating instead of trying to go for another power slide to set a kill up. But, well, as the dust settles, we have an entire level lead for Unleashed, and they're looking pretty good here. They're also starting to turn in their own doubloons, so each team is delivering right from the get-go, and this is a wild one. I mean, this is really a wild start into game number 1. Doubloon cams are up, and the teams are taking that as an immediate invitation to go and take a few more of those. So yes, here we are. We got Lion Lad now delivering, and since nobody seems to be willing to interrupt him, this is going to be the first barrage. So this is going to destroy the fort in the middle of the map. This one is going to be lost. It's a little bit different. I explained this last time that we were on Blackheart's Bay, but back in the day you had to actually do some damage in the lanes before the objective would take it out. Now you don't have to do that anymore because the hit points of the fountain are now tied to the fort itself, so it doesn't soak up an additional shot any longer, which means that it gets destroyed right away. But nicely done. So they take a bit of an lead here in regards to structures on the map. We still have a play for camps being made and also the doubloons that come with it. So more than enough doubloons for Unleashed to get a turn in themselves. So yeah, shots still fired towards the top even. Nearly taking one of the towers down here. The Vikings are pushing on all the lanes still. And more importantly, we have Abathar also with his mule now, which is pretty important since he is still a hero that can safeguard a lot of these structures when they get attacked by either the objective or even just by a couple of heroes. So that is going to help them a lot in the long run. Turn-in has happened. Again, is going to destroy the middle quite easily. They're going to have a spare shot fired down to the bottom of the map too, I suppose. If they can burn this down quickly, then they can get a mad value out of it. But first and foremost, they're trying to go for kills and they're blocking Artanis. He's in trouble, but he gets out, and with Sylvana's help, they are now destroying the first tower. They could do even a bit more damage here. Mid lane already getting attacked. Next few shots are going to be fired down here, but yeah, with the second tower falling and the gate now also getting crushed, this one is soaking up one, but that's about it. Shots fired, and they get a kill on Jaina as well, so things are looking good for Unleashed. They come in, they take the kills, they want even another one against Artanis, but they can't get that one quite as easily. They are going for Sylvanas though, and she goes down. Sylvanas is getting stopped here, but I'm not so sure if they can save that keep. They already dropped the mule in an attempt to save it, or save the fort, but I'm not so sure that's gonna happen. It's gonna be close though, and they take it. Alright, so the mule did not prevent it from going down. The Vikings are in the meantime still dealing with all of those doubloon camps at the side, or at least with a few of them. So we have 9 doubloons in the hands of the blue team, and of course they are also now taking level 10. Thanks to the Vikings, they still maintain that lead in experience. 3 kills to 4, 79 stacks for Artanis. Still a talent that makes me angry, honestly. This talent is so shit, it really hurts. Simply because you just can't stack it to a degree where it makes a huge difference. I really would have loved for Blizzard to improve that talent a little bit. Even in an ARAM where you have just continuous 5 versus 5 battles, it is nearly impossible to get that talent stacked to a level where you get really mad value out of it. It's kind of sad. I would love for that to just be boosted a bit so that it becomes a viable option for Artanis to turn into a late game beast. Artanis now also destroyed at the party. He dies, but he got a lot of damage in the meantime. The problem is they're just not getting any kills. The copy on Abathar are just a little bit too strong with all of the interrupts, so now Sylvanas is dead too. Some of the Vikings are also falling, and Cassia is about to die as well. 7 kills to 4. Yeah. There we go. The Nando boys, they are all of a sudden taking control of this game again. They have 7 kills to 4. They now hold 10 doubloons they could turn in. The Vikings, of course, hold a lot more, especially Lucio. Here has another 10. But really interesting. So let's see what they can do with that. Risk gets attacked and survives through all of it, with Karasim having to unleash the 7-sided. Now finally we have a kill against the Viking, but oh, nice. Good swap. Good swap, but he might pay the price for it because Artanis is low, gets again stunned by ETC, and now they're all gonna die, aren't they? Sylvanas falls again, but so do Artanis and Karasim. Both of them are dead. Get pushed back here, even with the water elemental. There's just no way for the Nando boys to have any control over this. So they lost a few more gems, and it allows an easy turn-in for Lucio. The attack towards the middle is now inevitable, and this is severely going to damage the keep that we're seeing there. So, yeah, that's going to be very difficult to power through. I mean, the red team is really getting their kills, but the problem is that they can't really build on it. So every time they seem to get a bit of an advantage and they're moving towards the middle to turn in and turn towards the objective, it's a real issue. Now, looking at the numbers here, we currently got 19,000 damage for Abathar. He's holding the top numbers for them. Artanis and Sylvanas, they are the punching bag of this game. Both of them died 3 times here. Anuburak has not fallen once. Vikings still doing their thing. A lot of camps to be claimed. Vision to be taken. The middle keep still stands. And this is honestly one that if you're the blue team, you want to push for now. Because Abathur is going to mule this up. So either you try to deliver another objective or you make a play there. Abathur will repair it. And you don't want that to happen. Yeah, Vikings getting attacked. It's a party. Again, ETC with the mosh pit, but he pays the price every single time. They're getting the counter damage done, though. They're killing Anuburak, they kill Artanis, and they're going for the rest of the team. The first one to fall after the front line is Karazim. And Jaina, she can run, she can't hide, she's dying, and she's going to lose all of those doubloons. So now they can turn in again. Artanis, he also chose the wrong ult. Artanis chose the laser, and the problem with the laser is simple. It has a secret counter that most Heroes of the Storm players don't know about. Now here's a little hint if you want to improve your own play. So if you're ever playing against an Artanis and he goes for the Purifier Beam, walk away from it! Walk away! Don't tell the quick match players. So yeah, walking away from it is pretty much negating the entire thing. Now I gotta give him credit, he used it earlier against ETC when he used his mosh pit, so that got some damage. But well, that's it. So the first keep is gone. Top lane gets attacked now as well, and yeah, that's gonna damage the keep, and you might have already guessed it, with the next set of the barrage it's going to drop it too. So 2 of the keeps will be gone. Tanis is dead 4 times and might die again now. Actually, they're trying for him, but with the rest of the team coming in from the side, they are very quickly deciding that it might not just be worth it, especially since they should try and stay alive here. The Vikings are still pushing on the side. But in we go. We have the cocoon. Yeah, you see he's doing it right. He walks away from it. So he walks away from it, and as you can see, this isn't doing damage anymore. So yeah, mad value. The problem is that they used the copy on Abathur, so that's a lot of cooldowns that they just burned here. The damage is being done at the bottom of the map, and the old rule still holds. The more damage you do to these structures, the more impactful your turn-ins are. Right now, it's 16 doubloons that are needed for another barrage to be started, but they are holding 11 now. And I would honestly be quite happy if at least Icecop and Sylvanas would turn in his 5 doubloons here. So far, yeah, it's not really happened though. 16 versus 16 talents, so you gotta be a bit careful, but a lot of the ults got used in the last fight by the Nando boys, so the blue team is aware of that, and they still have the mosh pit here, so they could use that at any point in time. Also, after 16, the Vikings of course became a viable option in these team fights. Chests are up, so a lot more to be had here, and Balog is pushing the mid lane. The core is losing its shield as Balog is starting to attack together with the catapults that he pushed in, and Abathur needs to be really careful. He could definitely fall here. Top side also gets pushed out as the Vikings are still continuing with the pressure. But since the chests are up, they just go for the doubloons, honestly. Top side, yeah, Abathur is doing his thing. But this is the moment where you want to take the doubloons on the chest, turn in, get that barrage going. And as you can tell, the red team has to react. And while the red team is defending the middle, way too early on the copy, by the way. They need a cocoon. They need to force the fight. They need to force this one now. They need to force it right now. With a copy, yeah, and they do. Okay, ETC dies. Nicely done. They get the mad burn. They should have moved away immediately. I'm actually surprised that the blue team, they seem to linger for a second. And now they lost a lot of the balloons and they're getting even more through the camp here. So there's an opportunity to bring this back at least a little bit. Seems like they're also hoping to just burn through the bot lane. But in the middle, another attack is coming. And down at the bottom of the map, we still have, yeah, this is not going to do too much, especially since they're, of course, attacking over here. But the problem is not only the bot lane, it's also happening at the top. So it really seems that the red team is thinking about trying to go for game? I don't think so. I don't think they can do that. They can take the keep, but I think that's about where it ends. Are they really trying to end all of this? Yeah, they are. They are trying to go for game, but in the meantime, they're losing their keep at the top, and the core is going to be attacked soon. So it's a bit of a Hail Mary move, and level 20 has already kicked in for Unleashed. So the core is falling. It's falling slowly, and it might be falling a little bit too slowly. Yeah, there's decent damage. They might actually pull this off after all. Artanis is dead. Nubarak's still trying to do some work. But yeah, there's the party. Mixon, he's trying, but he's not making this happen either. So all of them are down, 27% on the core. The Vikings haven't even retreated throughout all of this. They didn't even assist. Instead, we have now the red team's core already at 61%, and Abathar is the only defender here. That's not going to work out for him. So yeah, this isn't really looking too good. They could either turn in, they have 29 doubloons, but they like being rich, so they don't want to spend their money. And instead, they're just going for the core. Unleashed, able to get the lead in the best of 5 series here at Metalanders. Group A, nicely done. Well played. The blue team taking the victory on Blackheart's Bay. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2, Unleashed. They won the little race over there, so welcome to Nando's. They got close, 27% on the core. Yeah, you can always argue, is it really close, is it not close, but it honestly felt like they were getting close. A lot of the points on the core were dropping very rapidly, so as is. You know what, it's Abathar's fault. If Abathar would have jumped in, just slapped the core a little bit, that game would have been over. What did he do instead? Stayed in the base? That's not how you do that. So yeah, here we go. And we have Tracer and also Maiev banned. Of course, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map have also been eliminated now for this tournament. Well, not for the tournament, but for the match. Technically for the group, because it's the last match in the group stage. In Group A. I'm kind of twisting my thought process into a pretzel over here. Alright, so in addition to that, we're now having a Suljin band too. Talking about pretzels, you know what I actually like a lot is that we have fire starting now here in Valencia, which means that we have a lot of churros and buñuelos that I could eat soon, and this is actually not going to be good for my waistline. I'm trying to still lose weight for my road bike races, but I will have to splurge at least a little bit over the next 2 weeks. So, yeah. Either way, Liming gets banned too, so pretty much everybody is just addressing damage dealers, and now we have Samuro taken for the first time. Samuro has been banned every single game thus far against Welcome to Nando's, against WTN Orange. This is the first time that the hero wasn't banned, and immediately they're picking him. I like it. One trick pony detected, but hey, I'm here for it. I want to see what he can do with Samuro. So, let's see what's going on. We got Lunara, we got Rhaegar. I'm gonna fight to my last breath. Yep, you will. Multiple times probably, considering how this is going. So, yeah. Rhaegar's in, Lunara. With Battlefield. Are you gonna see a couple of these X-Factor picks? I mean, we probably will. What did we have in the first map? I mean, especially when we come to frontline tanks, it's gonna be curious. So yeah, Garrosh gets claimed. Can't be comboed off with Jaina this time, they did it already previously, but here comes Tychus, so that's helping them. They did that before, by the way. So this is the second time, I believe, that they are now picking Tychus on Battlefield of Eternity, which I still find a little bit weird. It's not something that you see normally in the Western scene. Now, obviously, still group stage has a lot of gaps in the skill levels of the teams here, but still, that Tychus pick is something that you see more so on the Asia server. We have seen that a few times in the Skyline Cup, and then the last tournament, the Chinese tournament that I commentated, where Tychus gets played on Battlefield. But in the West, that's not really a thing normally. Stukov banned, final ban now for this one. And what's it going to be for Unleashed at the front line? That's a question. Still plenty around against game 2, right? But 20 heroes that can't now be picked anymore for the second map still makes things kind of interesting, at least. Alright, Mirrodin is out. Could still go for a sniper comp. Could try and come in with Varian, for example. And they do. They go for Varian, and we got Urel. Good frontline here. Windblades, baby. Let's go. Let's smash it up a little bit. We need a support, and we need a little bit more damage, I would say, for the Nando boys. mix in with the support here for sure. His Stukov got banned out. A little bit of a target ban even. He absolutely loves his Stukov play. He's not going to be too happy about that particular ban. What's it going to be instead? Are we going to get the Geezer? No, it is Deckard Cain. Okay, so Greymane and Deckard Cain. Greymane, of course, great for the immortal damage. That's actually really nice. Okay, I like it. And now the final pick. Yeah, Risk is the final one here. They need a bit more damage. They got Lunara, which is obviously real nice, but they could either have to get somebody else at the front line and play it with a triple melee and get somebody that can do a bit of damage. I mean, could even go for a Thrall, for example. But a range damage dealer that can poke this out would probably be advantageous. There's plenty around still. Yeah, Jimmy. Always a good pick. Always a good pick with the Exterminator on Battlefield of Eternity. So yeah, game number 2. Let's go. Let's see what they can do here. We got Tychus up against Jimmy. We got the Nando boys against Unleashed. The second game in the best of 5. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Game number 2. In the blue on the left, we have Arabano on Varian. Ice Scorp on Lunara. Next on Rhaegar. Risk on Jimmy. And Riku on Yrel. The Nando Boys with Garrosh played by Lionlad. We got Master Thief on Tychus, Mixon on Deckard Cain. Pudge Nox is rocking Samuro. And we got Babu Desai on Greymane. Okay, curious to see what especially Samuro can do. He's been banned so many times that I expect big things now. The big question is, can they pull that off, yes or no? They lost map number 1. Was a bit of a closer call, but still Unleashed was looking strong there. And it's by the way, I said this before, but this was actually the first map that Unleashed won in this group. They had a bit of a rough one. Both the French team and also the Clowns, obviously very strong teams. And therefore they took first and second spot in the group. But here it's a match for honor. It's a match to see who can lock another victory in this best of 5. And currently it's looking good for the blue team. They've done a nice job on the first map. They have now good damage against the Immortal. Level 1 obviously is expected. The Exterminator for Jimmy. That's what you want. And they have, with Lunara and Jimmy in tandem, very good damage against the objective whenever it spawns. And they're even getting an early kill. So not only can they, with level 4, also lock in the taunt for Varian and really try to get some quick kills coordinated, but even at the beginning of the game, they are dropping Greymane. So, good start for them, for sure. We still have the Way of Illusion taken on level 1, slowly getting the stacks together for him. Camp is now addressed top side. They're going to grab this one for sure. Down to the bottom of the map, the red team is trying to do the same thing. Blue team is trying to slow it down a little bit and just like say hello and distract them, but they're committed and it's going to end up in the hands of Welcome to Nando's. Which, yes, is technically not their real name. Again, this is WTN Orange. You kind of renamed them cheekily a little bit for this one. It's just too good. If you come in with that acronym, you gotta expect that there's gotta be some shenanigans. And they actually said that it's fine. So apparently it found the approval of at least a few players on the team. Lionlad at the front gets immediately targeted when he makes his appearance here. We get now Greymane also down at the bottom of the map, so this initial 2-3 split has stopped. They're having the traditional 1-4 with Yrel going up against Samuro top side, whereas down here the taunt is finally in, and obviously all the way up at the top they can rotate over whenever they need to, but the objective is going to be announced in another 5 seconds. The camp is already being cleared so that the teams can get their shamans onto the lane and try to destroy the walls completely. With level 4 we get the Mirage, we have the Indomitable in, Yrel with the Hand of Freedom right over here, so yep, and it's time to shine. Alright, moment of truth, first objective. Let's see what they can do. With Exterminator and Lunara, I would expect Unleashed to really race down that Immortal very, very quickly. Samuro is doing what he does best. He's being a pain in the ass. But yep, here we go. Let the race begin. So, Risk is already hammering this out. Ioscope is ready. And I gotta say that the blue team is doing alright, but the red team with a full 5-man at the Immortal is absolutely crushing it. So they're taking a big lead on the first one. They win the halftime show fairly easily. Fights have so far not started, but since they're actually not racing this and the team fight isn't popping up the way that we expected to, it seems that the blue team is going to win the first objective. Now the fights continue, and we might see the death of Garrosh, but Greymane is just chunking this one down. Garrosh gets so far, still saved by the team, but they're turning their attention now over to Mixon, and the support is in real trouble. The first one to fall, Deckard Cain is dead. The objective has been won, so they need to get at least something out of this in return, and with the taunt, they drop Garrosh. Take him down and claim kill number 3. Still have to deal with the Immortal, but thanks to Jimmy, they should be able to pull that one off. It's a half-level lead, a little bit more than that. Can definitely build on it. But yeah, they need to crush this quickly. And have somebody topside also dealing with Samuro, because Urel alone is not going to make it here. Level 7 talents are in, that gives us the choke in Pollen. And we also have Lionheart now, but this wall is going to fall. Down at the bottom of the map, Jimmy is left alone to his device. I mean, again, he doesn't have a problem dealing with this. As long as nobody zones him off, he's going to get the full value out of the Exterminator, and he's obviously crushing this thing. Top side, the wall is fallen. Still not enough for the red team to make up for the losses that they suffered earlier. Now with Samuro dying, this just continues. So the second... well, actually, they're gonna go for another kill. Yeah, Lion Lads, he makes it out. So he's able to escape. But the second lane, that's the bigger issue now, because with Jimmy being all alone down here, he can not only take those minions out very quickly, but he can also start to take some of those structures apart. The rotation is coming on the other hand, so they're not leaving him all alone here for the entire time. Problem is that Garrosh is now coming in, and Risk was risking a bit too much here. He was definitely risking too much. So that's the death of Reyna. He saw Tychus, he saw Grave, and he's like, I can deal with this. And he could. Problem is simply that it was not enough to also deal with Garrosh himself. So that's a first kill for the red team. And yeah, a bit unfortunate. That wasn't really necessary. As they are going for the camp at the bottom of the map, the push at the top still continues. There's also one camp that has been claimed earlier by Unleashed that is currently helping them to take that wall down slowly and steadily. So yeah, one tower down, second one to fall. The entire gate is going to be dropped here, and there's nothing that Samuro can do about it. The more important part is that the blue team is spiraling this very quickly towards level 10, and they will hold an advantage on level 10 over the opponent's team. So with heroic abilities in their hands, second Immortal could become a problem. Especially the timing of it. It's 5 seconds until the Immortal spawns, but with just 2 more minion waves, we are likely looking at heroic abilities for Unleashed. And they are already in a halfway decent spot here. They're defending right now. They're just biding their time. Down to the bottom of the map, it's Urel that is still attempting to get them another minion wave. And since Samuro is at the top, there's no real risk here. So it's really the red team that is under pressure. And they're reacting with a quick move for Varian, who makes it out of the fight, though, fairly easily. Yeah, he's soaking all the damage up, but there's level 10. Taunt is about to happen. Indomitable already being used, but the problem is that he still doesn't stand a chance here. Lion Lad is being targeted, and he dies. Garrosh is down. 5 kills now against 1, and of course the Immortal is wide open over here. We even have our little kill squad right next to it, so they are just waiting for anybody to approach, try and defend so that they can go for another kill. And they're realizing that the camp is about to be taken, and that means the end of Greymane. Yeah, Greymane is crushed, and they steal the camp. Samuro is doing his thing though. He's going topside and trying to take some structures down. That's a pretty smart move. Just annoy them as much as you can. Try to get the side lane pressure with Samuro. Again, there's a reason why Samuro was banned in every single game so far against the red team. He's obviously going for the full one-trick Samuro plays, and if he can make that work for the team and really deliver value by taking some structures down at the side and always keeping the pressure up against the blue team, then all the better. But the bottom of the map, that's where the real issue is now hitting for Welcome to Nando's. They're getting level 10, and in this case we have the Illusion Master claimed right away, and even, of course, as you can tell, Odin, and used right that second. But the Immortal is, I mean, it's 100% Immortal. So with that, they are now definitely going to get that fort. I doubt that they can go for more, but the fort alone is going to get absolutely destroyed within seconds here. No chance for them to defend it. They need to be careful that they're not also losing a hero here. But they're trying to turn it on Varian. Not going to be successful. So Stale While Listen is already being used. There's the taunt. And Garrosh low. Nearly crushed by Lunara. But in comes Samuro. Trying to get the damage connected. Lunara and Jimmy are really putting a number on them. They're putting on a clinic here. 6 kills to 1 and still that big lead in experience for them. Top 4 has suffered at least some damage. But down here it is... well, the tower that nearly drops. Not quite though. Looking at the damage numbers on the other hand, we now have 18,000 for Samuro, 19,000 for Lunara. Jimmy isn't too far off either at 17k. So both of them doing solid work. Camps taken. They're still controlling this game. They're still controlling the game, the flow of it. But in the late game in particular, Samuro can of course be a huge pain. I don't want to deal with that, especially if you're not running a global. So, as is, you have the bot lane push thanks to the camp that they just took. And they are still willing to commit to a top fight, it seems. If they can take the minion wave down before the battle happens, then they will have a level 13 advantage. But talking about the battle, there's the Ancestral, and even that might not save him. Stay a while and get wrecked. Down. Well, Varian? Yeah, down he goes. Varian goes down. They were still trying to get another kill, and they do. It's Rhaegar that dies second. Maybe with Lunara they can poke somebody down, but nah, not quite. And they are just dropping those Odins like it's nothing. So top fort is likely going to be destroyed. Very well done. The red team with a comeback. Damn, really well played. Not only do they close the experience gap pretty significantly, but they now have also Samuro dealing with the bottom of the map. Extra XP guaranteed and also stopping the push. But thanks to that kill, or to those 2 kills, they were now able to get themselves to level 13 and, more importantly, take a fort down. Yeah, not too bad. I gotta say, they have a solid chance of taking a map at some point here. The Unfettered Assault on level 13. We have also the Line 'em Up for Jimmy. And the Immortals are back up on the map, and well, off we go. So right now, it's just a race. Nobody's really doing anything else. It's just trying to take it as quickly as possible. Blue team, a little bit more successful. They're slightly faster. But as we are going into the second phase of the objective, we're going to see that team fight unfold right in front of us. Now, there is a camp pushing at the bottom of the map. So, a bit an advantageous spot for the red team. Yeah, there's the taunt, and Varian. He tried, but he died. Tried and died. They're still trying to get the damage in against Samuro and take him down. Everybody is honestly low thanks to that poison damage that we're seeing from Lunara here. And they kill Samuro first, and just look at this. This is an absolute slaughter. Garrosh dies. Greymane. Kinda nearly got the kill. Yeah. Lunara was a bit low there, but she still turned it around on him, and with the help of Jimmy, they got a 3rd kill now. So there it is. 3 heroes, 4 heroes dying. Jimmy taking aim on every single one of them and locking the final shots in. Lunara has already focused her attention back onto the Immortal, and this is going to be another objective for Unleashed. The top fort is going to fall. They're doing well here. That battle, I mean, even after Varian was killed, right at the beginning, they were able to turn it around. And the damage output that we're seeing from heroes like Lunara and Jimmy has of course a lot to do with it. 30,000 for Lunara, 28,000 for Jimmy. A lot of damage over time from Lunara herself, and then the on-point single target damage that Jimmy is mainly contributing here. Absolutely crushing it. Top side, off we go. Odin again popped. Over and over and over again, and it's reflected in the damage that Tychus is able to bring to the table. 31,000 right now, so they're trying to stop this, but obviously the hopes of making that happen are pretty slim. We still have level 60 now for them, and that gives us the unfair advantage for Lunara. 10 kills to 4, they come in again. Taunt hasn't been used yet, so they could try and lock somebody down. They're looking at it, there's the flip. Yeah. Good move also by Rhaegar, slowing them down even further thanks to the totem that he just dropped on them. Tower is down, side wall opened up. They're not going to get the keep, but they are opening the gate up. Another flip, and they try to go for a kill, but he turns it around. Again, with a quick taunt. Alright, well done thus far. Greymane in trouble, they're poking, they're prodding, they're looking for kills. They still have that talent advantage. And the 1.5 level lead. And with Lunara, they can stay on the outside and slowly poke away against the structures. Are they going to take the keep? Not likely, but they can start to do some damage on it if they really want to. And if the red team moves out a bit too far and then gets turned upon, then it might open up an opportunity. Like here, they go again for Garrosh, and this time he doesn't stand a chance. Garrosh is already down. Urel is popping a hole. They're trying to focus on Deckard Cain, and it might net them a second kill. It might net them another one. They go for Greymane. They go for Tychus. They go for the 5-man wipe, but they just fall short of it. Samuro is able to escape, but the keep cannot get away. Nope, that's pretty stationary. So this one is going to get destroyed. And then the only question is, are they going to go for the core? Because that's another 11 seconds until Garrosh is back, and they could definitely try and pull this one off, especially since they're running Lunara in this. So the shield is evaporating within seconds, and this is not looking like it's recoverable for Unleashed. Yeah, there's a kill on Rhaegar, so at least they made that happen, but the core is already down to 30%. Everybody else is coming back. They're trying with a single target damage here, and this is all she wrote. A 2-0 lead in the best of 5 for Unleashed as they lock in another W here on Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 3, Towers of Doom is the map. Yeah, I feel on Battlefield of Eternity that last fight that the red team took was maybe a little bit optimistic. They engaged without having level 16, so... but very quickly they realized that this wasn't working because Unleashed just crushed the entire team with the exception of Samuro and then proceeded to take the keep and the core down. Now we got Stitches banned out. This is game 3, so therefore 30 heroes are currently unavailable. Now, we had one player that got swapped out on the side of Welcome to Nando's because after the last map they decided that he's just too bad and they don't want to play with him anymore. Nah, I'm just kidding. So he couldn't make it. He has another match that he needs to play for an amateur league, and again, since this is more or less just for fun, since we already determined the top 2 teams in the group, they swapped in somebody else. But this is actually something that all of the teams are also allowed to do, so every team, or most of the teams, have more than 5 players, so if one of them can't make it, they always have the option of subbing somebody else in. Always trying to accommodate the players a little bit in all of this, especially also with the times where we're playing the matches out and so on and so forth. I've always done that. I mean, again, this is still competitive, but it's also making sure that the players are enjoying this one too. And with Meta Madness, the tournament has always been a lot of fun, not only for the audience, but also for the players. It's a pretty fun concept. Now with the bans kicking through, we have Junkrat, Alarak, Stitches, and Dehaka eliminated. And I especially like the Dehaka ban. That leaves us with Falstad as a global. And, well, I guess since it's Meta Madness, you should also mention Illidan with the Hunt and ETC with Stage Dive. ETC with Stage Dive has been played already in the group stage, but Illidan with Hunt, now we've seen him too, that could still act like a bit of a pseudo-global if you're really determined to have somebody, let's say, at the top lane that can still participate in team fights a little bit further down on the map. So Chromie has a first pick. We got Muradin and Uther. It's the Beard team. Alright. Team Beard over here. Who else could they take for Team Beard? They could go for Falstad, who's still available. Who else is rocking a big one? I think Malfurion is still up, so he could also be. They want to go for like a double support. We need a damage dealer with a beard. Sonya and Zarya. Great options. Mei is in. Alright. Stukov and Mei. Time to build a wall again, apparently. And, well, final few bans. This is the second time that we're seeing Mei. I think she was played earlier today on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Pretty sure it's Tomb of the Spider Queen, so yeah. And with Stukov, Mixon is finally getting one of his favorite heroes. Yeah. Zul gets banned. I actually like that. Zul is a hero that I completely forgot about until he got picked just the other game. And he rotate. I mean, his rotation between the lanes is obviously great, so he's in a spot where he can really deliver a lot. Pretty much the same position that Leoric oftentimes takes, so where you try to have one hero in 2 lanes and just soak him as best as he can and push him back. So Zul can do that, and Towers of Doom is one of the maps where he's been doing it a lot in the past. Sky Temple would be another one. Sonya gets banned. Mephisto, on the other hand, and Leo, both still up here. Yeah, Leoric, he's going to do exactly what I just talked about. He's going to move very heavily between the middle and the top and try and make sure that they are getting the experience there and push this out, always assuming that a lot of the battle is happening down at the bottom of the map. But yeah, Ice Cop is last. They still need a damage dealer. Now keep the birdie in mind, that could still be an option for them. We still need a main tank for them. Thrall, alright. So we got our Bruiser sorted out. And yeah, who needs a main tank? Malthael main tank! Yeah, Thrall Malthael in the last rotation. They got May. What am I talking about? Okay, so Glasses is the main tank here. They might switch things a bit around. And yes, we get Thrall Malthael. So it's a triple front line. I'm blind today. Apparently I need another coffee. I don't know. Final pick for game number 3. Towers of Doom. Ice Corp. What's it going to be? We have them with a full front line already. A little bit of damage would go a long way. And it is Tyrael. Alright, apparently we're getting Bruiser Tyrael in this game. So it could be a judgment. Me likey. Unexpected, but I still like it. Okay, Towers of Doom, everybody. Let's go. Game number 3 in the best of 5. Game number 3, Unleashed is starting on the left side. We got them with Risk on Mephisto, Ice Corp on Tyrael, Arabanos playing Muradin, we got a Reiku on Leoric, and next on Uther. To the right side of the map, it is the Nando Boys. We got them here with Lion Lad on Malthael, Master Thief is playing Thrall, Mixin playing Stukov, The Real Man on Chromie. What is this telling me? And Bizarcade is on May. Alright, so apparently Chromie is trans. I mean, she's identifying as a dragon, and that's already been a lie. And no, I said it before and I say it again. No self-respecting dragon would ever take that form. That's not a thing. If you want to see a real dragon, look no further than Deathwing or Alexstrasza. But Chromie, nah, that's just not it. She's a gnome with delusions and, yeah, apparently ambition, I would say, but that's not a real dragon. This is just not a thing. No. This is a lie that Blizzard has been peddling for a long time right now, but this is just not a thing. Quick pause here. Ooh, interesting timing as well. So they are pausing just as that Stormbolt is hitting Mixin full on in the face. I mean, right now, I don't think this is going to be a kill, is it? Ice Corp is already starting things off, by the way, with the Ardent Restoration, so keep that a bit in mind, because as I already said in the draft, this is likely going to be a full-on Bruiser build for him, including Judgment on level 10. So that's what you would expect here. And then others can follow up on it. But if you're going for a triple frontline, you really need some of these guys to bring in the damage. And Tyrael can be a very disruptive force in the opponent's backline too. So this is likely what we're going to see from him. Another thing that I want to point out real quickly, because I haven't noticed it until now, is that we have Crash Lightning on level 1 for Thrall. That's normally not something that you're going to see on this map. It's usually a play that is made, if at all, on Battlefield of Eternity, because there you have more so the constant brawl in the middle, where you also don't have any minions that can distract it. If you complete that, you're going to be an absolute damage machine. It's one of the reasons why in ARAMs, Thrall is one of the best heroes that you can get, because he is guaranteed to complete it, and then you just get damage. You can really poke him down. The problem is if your opponent is playing well, is aware of it, and is able to just split the heroes up a little bit and just deny you the stacks, then you're not getting a whole lot out of it. So obviously it's a talent that stacks up and you already start increasing your damage, but this is an interesting choice for the third map in the series. So if it works out for them or not, that's a different story, and we're gonna see later on. Right now we have our top lane also, Reiko and Lion Lad, they are locked into this 1v1 that we're gonna see here. But down to the bottom of the map, definitely with a Storm, they came in from Muradin, they're going to try and target Stukov a little bit, at least put him under pressure. But in the early stages, you would of course assume that right now we're not quite yet getting a kill there. They didn't go for the massive brawl in the middle of the map. Camps haven't spawned it either, so it's another 20 seconds until we're seeing the siege camps, the pumpkin camp spawn, and then we might get a bit of an invade. It all depends on how aggressive Unleashed wants to be. Now they're actually doing a pretty nice thing, and you might have noticed this already in game number 2. They are trying to be a bit more aggressive than they were also in previous series, simply because they are hoping to force mistakes on the side of the Nandos. And that has worked quite nicely. in some of the games, but they really need to keep that up, and obviously you always risk a little bit that your opponent turns it on you. But since they're also running with a full front line here, they have tons and tons of sustain. You got to be a little bit careful with Malthael later on, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they're dealing with all of this. And of course, for Mephisto, how much damage he can really get out here. But yeah, definitely keep a bit of an eye on the Crash Lightning, and hopefully whatever causes the break here, I hope it's only a bit of a technical difficulty. We're going to be back in a moment. Alright, we're back, and apparently the problem was that one of the players on the blue team had to relock, so it didn't take too long. And as expected, Stukov didn't really eat too much damage there. Couldn't get an early game kill on this. Oh, but this one might be a little bit different, because now they're blocking Chromie's path as she's trying to get out, and she is insanely low, and this is just teeing the damage up for Mephisto. He comes in, drops her quickly. The Chromester is eliminated. At least it allowed Thrall to get some hits in, so he's now at 3 stacks on his level 1. But yeah, good start for Unleashed. They're already starting to dominate a bit in this mid-bot lane rotation that they've started up. We are also looking at additional globes now for the Art and Restoration here, since Tyrael is part of the team that goes to the camp. He's going to get an additional globe there too. On the left side, I mean, I was thinking that maybe they're interested in trying the attack here, but you have Stukov against you with the Lurking Arm. You have to be a bit careful around the control that May offers the opponent as well. So you got to be very careful how you engage there. And they just let that one go, which means both teams walk away with one of the pumpkin camps. Now we're getting the On a Pale Horse here on level 1. Chromie going to the Dragon's Breath over here. We're starting things up with a Divine Vigor. Level 4, not going for stacking. Mana Tide for Thrall instead. And he's still trying to get some extra hits in on his level 1. And so far it's actually going pretty alright. He's at 5 stacks. Got another 2 in that last encounter here. And as long as the blue team is willing to brawl it out, I mean, he's a happy panda. Now he gets targeted and they might even get a kill on him, but Thrall is getting a lot of value out of this one. 7 stacks right from the beginning. And this is even before the altars have spawned, where you would expect him to do a little bit better on the stacking process. So this might actually become a problem for the blue team in the long run. Again, time will tell, but with 8 stacks right now, he's probably pretty happy. That's roughly a third done of the quest. I mean, again, guesstimating, so not quite, but he's getting there. Now with the first set of altars being announced, who's walking away with a double? The Zarkade here with the Pleb Horse. I mean, honestly, that's a big F. That's a huge F. I mean, if he had an epic and unique mount, then I could maybe let it slide, but a Pleb Horse, really? I'm not quite on board with that. Money, pig or bust, baby. So, the first few altars have already been channeled. As usual, it's the top left and top right exchange between the two teams, which now focuses the fight onto the bottom altar. And they are starting to drop Orabano a little bit on the hit point pool here. He's not the only one. Seems like Tyrael went a little bit too deep. And he's still getting away. Calculated. Yeah, absolutely calculated. The entire team is on the run. And Thrall is still stacking. It seems that Leo is about to activate his trade. Trade successfully activated. They're trying to go for Chromie here. Everybody's low though. I mean, they really can't sustain this for much longer. They gotta be very careful here. Yeah, there's already the altar channel successfully executed by the Nando boys, and that means that we have them now in the lead on the core. 12 stacks for Thrall isn't shabby either. Okay, I was a bit skeptical when I saw the level 1, but this might end up being better than I thought. Möbius Loop is in, and also Thrall with the Ancestral Wrath. It's a 2-0 lead for Unleashed. I mean, if they win this game, it's over, right? So they would take 3rd place in the group. Nando's would come in last without a single map victory. But we'll see. This is winnable. Especially if Thrall is able to fast-track that level 1 talent. It's just enormous poke. It's really enormously annoying when you're going up against the Thrall that has completed his quest. He can just like poke you down slowly and steadily, especially when they're sieging up, for example. It's quite nice. All you gotta do is attack a tower, for example, and everybody behind will then be targeted next. So yeah, it's just annoying. It doesn't win you the game outright or anything, but it makes it really just difficult to deal with. Especially Uza is going to hate that. But we're obviously not there yet. I mean, we're far away from this happening. Next double altar, usually a 1-2 exchange, nothing insane, topside. Even in kills, there's not too much happening right now. The teams are on eye level in experience. We have the levels ticking away. Level 7 hasn't been committed to by Leo yet either. Obviously, with the temporal loop on Chromie's side, she can now try and tee up a couple of kills for the team and force the fights. So they're gonna try and work that out. Leo now already moving up, and the red team is slowly starting to do their thing on the altar, starting the channel up, trying to interrupt at the same time over here on the left as best they can. Yeah, and the fight continues. The blue team failed to take it in time, so now they have to actually battle it out with their opponent for it. Slightly at inexperience, not as likely gonna matter. Thrall is actually starting to struggle a little bit more on his stacks. He's been sitting on 12 for a long time, and is just not able to connect multiple of these hits, but they're zoning them out fully. Unleashed is falling back here. And this is of course a bit too early to tell. With level 10 abilities, a lot of these fights are just flipping and give teams a lot more options at coordination. But the red team is now falling back here too, so they realize that this is not going to happen in the long run. They might annoy them a little bit further and just delay them, but it's always easy for the team to hold on to their own altar. Judgment is in, and Mei might be a little bit too far out. And up at the top, Malthael just got away before Judgment got executed, but I don't think that Mei is going to make it. And they're actually looking for a double. So they come in with Judgment and with the Entomb, and they just absolutely just murder Stukov. Stukov was at full HP and he thought he had a good position there. He thought he could save Mei, but instead he gets targeted, gets quickly destroyed, and so does Mei herself. And, well, that is obviously an easy double kill. Leo falls. He's always the one that you want to sacrifice if you have to sacrifice a hero. But yeah, we got the Bruiser build for Tyrael. I've been talking about it since the draft. In addition to that, it's now the Durance of Fate here for Mephisto. So they got some combo potential. Thrall with the Earthquake. We get the last rights for Malthael, so a bit of cooldown reduction that he's going to work on as the game continues. And Thrall at 14 stacks for now, so nearly halfway done with his quest. One camp got stolen away, and now they are making a move to invade this one at least. Earthquake is being used. They're really trying for the kill. Durance of Fate connects fully on the other hand, and this could be a problem. Last rights, Malthael and Uther, they both die. Leo wasn't here, and that was a problem, and now we even have the Avalanche executed by Mei. More could die, and some of them will. There's the kill against Mephisto. They're going for Tyrael. He's barely able to save himself, but Leo just died again, and that's 4 heroes down on the blue team. Wow. They went in, invaded the camp, and the red team showed no mercy there. Even with the attempted turnaround by Unleashed, they weren't able to make it work. So very nice play, and that gave them a massive boost, which led to a level lead for Welcome to Nando's. They are now on level 13. They got the talent advantage, and that was exactly what they needed in that situation. So job well done. And of course a bit of a problem by Unleashed. They didn't wait for Leo either. They didn't want to give up the camp, and they paid the price. The altar is up. No level 13 talent, that's the issue. So the channels could happen here for sure. Tyrael is going to jump in. Leo is now moving into the middle for more XP, but also to join the fight soon. Muradin, couple of seconds until he has his avatar back. 13 is nearly ready for them. But are they interrupting again? It doesn't look like it. They're going to let it go. Leo is traveling back towards the top lane. Bronzebeard Rage is now in. The shots have been fired. And Unleashed is down to 24 points on the core. 24 points on the core right now. They are trying again for Thrall in this case. It's a 4 versus 4. Judgment on Chromie. Not sure if she was the best target there. I think they could have really gone for someone else instead, but they still get the kill on Stukov. Can they get another one though? Divine Shield is out, saving Tyrael. Mei is not gonna make it. Yeah, she's gonna die, or at least I thought so, but she might. Tyrael, explosion value, baby. Yeah, gets the explosion. Trade value. They go for Chromie. The timeout is in. Thrall, where's that stumble when you need it? There it is. They cannot get the kill. And instead it's Mephisto that dies. Okay, Mephisto at least got the Thrall kill. But This is a bit of a meme right now. 7 kills to 8. They closed the gap in experience and kills, but yeah, that was a little bit funny. 18 stacks now for Thrall, so he's 12 away from completing his level 1. But it's definitely starting to become a pretty spicy game over here. Everybody just goes full aggression. Consequences be damned. 34,000 damage for Chromie, 39,000 for Mephisto. Camp claimed by him at the top. And now it's a double altar at the bottom of the map. Still a bit of a tricky one with the level 16 that will be ready for the red team. So the blue team finds themselves in a very similar situation to what we previously witnessed, where they are falling behind in talents. So they're trying to force the fight maybe a little bit sooner than that. Shove is already out. There's a temporal loop. Okay, Chromie trying to go for the damage. Can't quite get it done. 16 isn't available yet. They are getting close though. They're getting very close, and there it is. 16 is in, so they have the advantage now. They also get the Thunderstorm with this. Uther, Mei, they're trying to channel. Mei is actually allowed to channel this through. They're allowing that to happen. Leo gets pushed back just after we are seeing Stukov attacked again. And the backline is in trouble, but there's a level 16 talent advantage. It's definitely playing a role right now. Nice move. Mephisto gets killed, Uther as well. I don't know why the blue team is fighting it the way that they do. They don't have level 16 talents. They were hoping to get a quick kill in against Stukov. But if they really want to do that, they have to coordinate this a little bit better. Tyrael could have judgmented in at some point. Sometimes you just feel like they're a bit too greedy. They are looking like they want to get 2 kills instead of just making one kill happen. They hope for 2, attack a second target, and then it's just not working out the way that they planned it out. So with 11 kills to 7, we now see the Nandos again get a very solid lead. Hit another 5 points off the opponent's score, so it's 15 to 32. Now late game can of course change all of this, but they're sacrificing Muradin here. And this is not looking good. They need to get their shit together. They really need to buckle down a little bit and find a way to coordinate the attacks better, or they are going to lose this one. This is a big opportunity for the red team to finally win a map and put a point onto the board and maybe start a bit of a reverse sweep. So yeah, they're going to try it. 5 bell towers in their hands. They got the advantage here. And it's a 1.5 level lead, pretty much. So level 20 is a concern as well. Unleashed needs a teamfight victory. The level 20s are obviously extremely strong. But I would be remiss to also point out that the Storm talents for the Nandos aren't really all that bad either. So Leo is still at the top. Judgment, and it's not enough. They need to follow up with something, and that coordination between Mephisto and Tyrael was just not good enough. Nope, that was too late. Trying to go for the Durance of Fate so late, that is not going to work. They aimed for Thrall, couldn't get anything done there, and let's not forget that now it's a triple altar phase, so technically the red team could end it here. They could end the game. If they get all 3 altars, it's over. If they get a couple of pumpkins through, they lock 2 of the altars in and they get the boss, it's also game. So this is really dangerous now for Unleashed. Unleashed find themselves in a very uncomfortable position. Especially with Thrall now looking at 24 stacks. Thrall is at 46,000 damage. I mean, currently the only ones that are ahead of him are Mephisto and Chromie. Shots are fired, 5 versus 3, and there's another 5. They're down to 5 points on the core now. The battle continues, and Unleashed is on their last leg here. Yeah, Chromie goes down though, so they get a kill. They barely keep Mephisto alive. Oh, and I'm lying, he's dead. Gets killed by Stukov. Another attempt to punish Mixon for his audacity here. But it seems like they are able to save him, and instead it's Ioscope on his Tyrael that is in trouble. He gets attacked, gets another shield out, ooh, and he gets crushed. He is going to get a little bit of value out of this, but I'm not sure if they can get the kill on Thrall here, especially with Stukov still being around for the occasional heal. It's a bit low in mana, but still. Level 20 is ready. Last Rites gets upgraded. Angel of Death. Alright. Angel of Death, even more important, the Earthen Shield, and we're getting the Cascade. This is not looking good for the blue team whatsoever. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting closer and closer to a potential victory for the red team. Would be their first victory in Meta Madness. Their first map victory. Half a level until Unleashed hits level 20. Thrall claiming the clamp down here. And guys, he's at 27 stacks. His poke is going to be great. Then again, that's a kill. It should be. Can they get the counter kill? Leo. Yeah, Leo's gonna fall. But again, the trade Leo against Malthael, I know what I'd pick. That is a very good trade, especially since they're trying to get to level 20. That extra experience matters a lot to the blue team. Doesn't matter all that much to the red team. And they did not go for no one can stop death. So now it's a 4 vs 4. Nice attack against Chromie. Earthen Shields is out. Only to save her. But I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Chromie is about to die. Timeout is in. Down at the bottom of the map. They're fighting it out. Leo will spawn back in a couple of seconds. Chromie is dead. And Unleashed is finally starting to unleash some of their teamfight power. Great cascade, but Uther with a bulwark of light. Big use out of that talent now. Big use out of it. Uther is dead. He's not going to come back anytime soon. Mirrodin is trying to go for Stukov. Where's that Stormbolt, that additional one? When you need it, they kill him. It's a slaughter. Mei, I don't think she's going to be able to make it here. So she goes down as well. That leaves only Master Thief. And even he is not going to survive. The Entomb drops. Full 5-man team wipe. They have one back on the map though. Malthael is back, but of course what the blue team really needs is they need to get some of their structures back first. They are 2 points on the core, by the way. With the pumpkins that made it through, that's 2 points. Boss gets taken, game's over. One altar gets channeled, game's over. Couple of pumpkins making it through, you can kiss that map goodbye. So now we have the 4 shots fired. That's 29 points to 2. They gotta win everything from here on out. They're going for the camps, they're taking whatever they can, they have to gain momentum, and they need to remove the boss from the map. This is a really smart move right now. This is something that you gotta do. You gotta remove it from the map as an option. If you leave that option for the other team, then they have just too many potential opportunities here. 29 stacks on Thrall's level 1. The Trash Lightning is soon gonna start crashing down on Unleashed. Shots fired, and another 4 points removed. Down to 21. 21 points. And of course the attempt to also take some of these structures now. There's the Stormbolt, more damage done. Mei in trouble. Chromie immediately attacked in the backline as they're once again starting to use the Angel of Death. The Cascade and the Shove. They are doing everything they can to get those kills, but the first one to fall is Mei. Mei is down. Leo in trouble. He dies. Stormbolt still coming through here as Arabano is trying to sustain himself and the rest of the team through the fight and get a couple more stuns in. They're retreating once again. Tyrael trying to escape is in real trouble right now. Likely gonna fall unless he gets the cooldown back and somehow is able to jump over here. That's not the case, so they're just going for another hit. He's going to be back in 47 seconds, but that's, of course, a disastrous situation for the blue team. Unleashed, they will be down 1 hero when the altars are spawning. It's not a huge gap between the death time of Mei and Tyrael, but it's still a small one, so it might make a difference between the teams. Again, Chromie trying to force the fight. Oh, he can't die! And he does! Mephisto is dead, and that might just be it. The altar up on the map, great, and Tomb, and Mixon is down, but a kill against Leoric as we have another hit coming in from the last rites of Malthael. He's now looking at serious cooldown reduction on his level 10. They go for Chromie again. Mei's here too. One altar channel, all that's needed for the first map victory for the team in red. Welcome to Nando's. They are taking Uther down. This has to be it. In comes Tyrael. Another interrupt, another stun, maybe even another kill as Chromie uses the timeout to save her butt. Mirrodin is dead, and there's just no denying it anymore. This is going to be the first map win for the red team. Tyrael, he can slow it down a little bit. He won't be able to prevent it from happening. Leo back soon too. They're doing their best here. He's jumping in again. He's a massive pain in the ass. I gotta give him that. He's buying time for Leoric to come back, by the way. I still don't see it happen, though. I still don't see it happen. Leo's back. So is Mephisto. Don't tell me they're actually making this happen. No freaking way. Mephisto is melting them! What the hell? Mephisto is melting their face! Leo is dead again, but they got a double kill here. And the party continues. They go again for another kill. This time they're aiming for Mixon. Guys, check this one out. Look at Mephisto and the damage that he got out there. Absolute insanity. Just burning them to a crisp in that situation. 23 kills against 18. 23 against 18. They want more. In comes Tyrael, trying to go for Stukov. They go to the top, aiming for Mei, the Storm Bolt, and she is dead. They're staggering deaths against the red team. Another 4 shots fired. We're down to 17 points. 17-2. Bell tower low. Boss, 1.5 minutes. Camps on the map. They slowly get taken. The game's not over. They made it happen. They survived. They survived another battle. 38 seconds, 4 versus 5. 38 seconds where they can go for the bottom bell tower. And they should be able to get it. Tyrael all over the place. Chromie coming in. This could be a problem. Divine Shield being used. They have the Entomb. They go for Stukov and he's dead. Stukov is dead. Thrall is dead as well. And the last rites does not succeed to drop Leo. They were fighting without Mei. It didn't work. Now they lost the bottom bell tower. The Pumpkins making it through. Look at the depth. No! Chromie! Oh, not like this. Not like this. She is dead. And even Malthael, he's still on a cooldown for his ult, he could have capitalized on the situation a little bit. Pumpkins made it through 14-2 points. 14 points to 2. Look at the damage of Thrall. 103,000. 104,000 for Malthael. 107,000 for Mephisto. And they're moving into the middle. They're going for another bell tower. They're going for another bell tower, and guys, who's gonna stop them? Who's gonna stop them? Nobody's gonna stop them. Nobody is gonna stop them here. Boss is up. Boss is up, and you have to cover the boss and 2 of those altars. They need to at least check. They need to check. All that they gotta do. Down at the bottom of the map, the channel is happening. Over here, channel is happening. This is immediately, with the top bell tower now taken, that's 10 points off. They know what's going on here. And they go again for Stukov. They're targeting the support again and they kill him. 4 points on the core against 2. The boss ends the game. The boss ends the game. Malthael, no, he's dead. He's dead. How is this happening? No. No. WTN Orange. Welcome to Nando's. They're about to lose the series and the game. This can't be happening. 25-2. It was 29-2, I believe. And now they're losing the game. They were so close. The insane sustain in the fight around the middle altar. Chromie dead. Nearly 50 kills. 50 kills in this game as we have a 3-0 victory for Unleashed. Meta madness at its best.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.